2 weeks have come and gone. It's off to week 3, and we're underway on EA Sports. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
Come on, set. HE Gator. Pick up the ball. Check safety, check. General West. Big grip.
On first down, Eason trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jatavis Brown. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. And the defense could not have written a much better script than that first drive, pick 6.
The offense never got a chance to really get oiled up there, did they? But the defense, they certainly got in gear. What a big-time play and a great way for them to start.
And now the offense, they've got to turn things around and figure this out because your backs are on the ground real quickly.
Yeah, usually when you're starting the game, getting the ball, 0-0 is the only score you're worried about. Now the second time you get it, you're already down a touchdown.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. First carry for Nick Chubb. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Hey, Delta. Check 24. Check 24. Check 43. Ready.
From the gun, Eason got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that. I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. On 4th down, here's Jamie Gillen on to punt. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines.
They'll take over. And 10 at their own 22-yard line.
First carry now for Alexander Madison. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. On 2nd down, this is Madison. Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Check, check, watch 54, watch 54. Check, 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 check.
Allen fakes the give and keeps himself. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he gets it to the 34, good enough for the first. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Check 31, check 31. Check, check, check. 61, matchbox lights.
Allen fakes the give and keeps himself. They'll get this out quickly to Campbell. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run this.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. A few issues here on the offensive line, apparently. He got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the first quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing, but they watch the film as well. So they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fixed what was wrong with them in the last game.
And he held on to it, but he probably shouldn't have as they get him behind the line. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Hey, home. Slam. Half 85. 41 Mike. Hey, exit. Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Mike 41. We got to wedge that, huh? Let's go. 41, come together.
Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. It got his man complete. Touchdown, Houston. Robert Foster, his first touchdown of the new season. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you get the defensive touchdown early to give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, and we've had that conversation with them prior to the game, they always say, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives us like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Cleveland offense ready to go. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
Check 52.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
70, Indy. 2nd and 7. Me and you all day. Any weapon. I'm coming after you. Kill. 25. Now. Check 25.
Here's a 2nd and 7. This is the tight end, Njoku. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Watch the screen. 6 guys. Check 6 guys. He's coming. Double up. He's coming. Double up. No. Off. He's coming. We got double up.
Now a give right side. Hilliard. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Hey, Echo.
On 3rd down, Eason. And that is incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is. Was a kicker from that distance, 56, 57 yards. So many things you got to worry about, but I am a little surprised he didn't get it there.
Yeah, with the way kickers are nowadays, we're surprised anything under 65 that it doesn't get at least to the crossbar. But remember this. You have to drive it a little bit lower in order to make that distance, and you also have to be worried about the interior rush that they can get their hands on it. So that's why those stronger kickers nowadays who can pop it up in the air and still travel and carry it, that's what you're looking for.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now Allen. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. That one good for a 1st down pickup of 18 yards.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position. Everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner. With good timing, you get a completion as we just saw there.
And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Watch switch.
From the 30 on 2nd down, Allen flush to his right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
They come up now, 3rd and 5, following the incomplete pass. Allen fakes the give and keeps himself. He completes it to Westbrook. So they decline it as that will bring up fourth.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties. And they wisely did not take that one and made it fourth down.
And this one is right through. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
Well, no, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 28, and they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Alert 3, alert 3. Regular.
So after the INT, it's Allen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range.
Let's go.
They'll run with a former member of the Crimson Tide, Damian Harris. They get 5 yards on the run there. Still left staring at a third and about 14.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turn around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
Over the middle, it's complete. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be fourth down. The offense staying out. They're going to go on 4th and 2.
Hey, tight. Mike 54. Yeah, let's get sack lunch. 5 wide. 54, Mike, 54.
Allen will look to throw for it on 4th. And he's got it. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A 16-yard touchdown. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. They took a pretty big risk right there going for it on 4th down. But, hey, not only did they get the first down, forget about that, they got in the end zone.
Yeah, because normally you're just thinking, can I get enough yardage to get it past the sticks and pick up a first down? Instead, they go for the end zone and get it done with no margin for error. Remember, 4th down, they went for it.
The Browns take over first and 10. Let's go. 25-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll make it 2nd and 12.
At the 34-yard line.
49. I'm coming after you.
Topper!
Watch the
Here we go on 2nd and 12. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Eason. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham, his 4th touchdown on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Austin Seibert on for the extra point. He's got it, and that makes our score 24-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. There's never enough, I believe, because they get reeled in all the time when you sit on the ball. I think that they will try and move the ball downfield, try and squeeze a few more points out of this first half. They'll be careful. They'll be a little bit cautious at times, but also they will attack downfield and try and get in position for at least 3 points.
First down, Gunners.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And he's got this down to the 35. This gain not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Now Allen. Eluding the pressure right. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. The wise move there looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Allen fakes the give and keeps himself. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And some room to maneuver. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. In for the score. And his guys are going to add on to their lead.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. The try here for the extra point. And the lead is now 24.
Makes the score Gunners 31, Browns 7.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Browns drive about to get started. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now a timeout taken.
A gain of 4.
Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout called. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half.
Hey, high 7.
49 the mic, watch 49.
Quick takes 3. 218, chop it. Get it.
A run for Nick Chubb. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
All 52.
Tight dog, tight dog, tight dog. Watch twist.
Hey, home. Monday.
Whip.
Here's a give to Madison running right. He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Watch the run. Watch the run. Alert flare. Switch it. Come on, switch it. 36.
All 52.
Check four.
That's SOS.
Another carry now for Madison. And he will not get there as they stop him short right around the 34-yard line. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
When a good play is made on defense, oftentimes leverage is the key to everything. Defensive line not getting turned, all the other guys making sure they're in the right spot. And on that play, they were able to stop him short of a first down.
Now Brown. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Cleveland offense ready to go. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Just work with me a second here because in my lifetime, seeing how quarterback percentages have changed in throwing the football, I mean, back in the good old days, if you were around 50%, you were doing okay. But now, you need to be 65 to 70% to be considered an elite quarterback. And in this ball game, I feel like we're playing old school, right around 50%.
Yeah, he's under 50%. He needs to start hitting more targets. And now the third down throw incomplete as well. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
He'll try and throw for it here. And this is incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field.
I don't know why you would do that. It's almost guaranteed points the other way. I mean, I get it if it's a late-game situation, maybe even 4th and inches. But, boy, that's a huge risk to take.
Yeah, now they're set up in prime position going the other way. This is Harris, and able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll run it with Madison. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
54. 19. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Hey, check.
They'll try to get it on the ground with Madison. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Harris. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Here's Madison. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Well, they've got it down to the 3, but now this is 3rd and goal.
Pass 85, pass 85.
They'll try to run with Madison. No gain on the play that time, so a big stop, and it's going to leave them with a 4th and goal.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
And his kick is good. And that'll push the lead from 24 up to 27. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
They'll run again with Hilliard. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On 3rd and 2, Eason. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker. And his crew will take over with a football at the 30. 35-yard line.
At the 35-yard line.
And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Watch the pass.
Here's Madison running on first down. We have played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. And we're back now here in Cleveland. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Let's go, baby. Turn over. Get that ball.
Going to run with Madison again. And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And this offense on 3rd down today, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This time it's 3rd and 3. On 3rd down, they run with Madison. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
Brings up 4th down.
And his kick is right there. It's good. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Let's go, man.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Chubb. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
3rd and 6.
The Browns on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. On the carry, it's Chubb. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing, so they'll go for it on 4th down. Here's Jackson to throw. And that is caught. He's got his running back downfield. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. Felt compelled to go for it there on fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a fourth down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Chubb with a first down carry as he'll get about 3 out of it. Make it 2nd and 7 coming up. Tremaine Edmonds there to bring him down. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. From the 30 on 2nd down, Jackson under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Sack, baby. Sack, baby.
An 8-yard loss on the play. It's now 3rd down.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. It's caught by OBJ. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They get 15, but they still needed a little bit more. 4th down.
Brings up 4th down.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
49, guys. Mike, 49. So we got man. Zoom, fellas, let's go. Mike's 40.
They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Jackson from the shotgun. And it'll be intercepted. Teron Johnson able to pick it. All smiles and high fives on that defensive sideline. That interception will cap off what was truly a tremendous performance.
Yeah, if you can hold a team to 7 points in the NFL, that's the kind of day that you feel really good about. Now, I do know a few guys are going to think to themselves, held them to 7. If we'd made one more play, could have had our shutout.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for our visitors, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Baltimore Ravens. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.